It's really hot out. It's like 103 degrees, but I found a shady spot, so that's good. So we've had a lot of rain here lately and the mosquitoes are out, and I may need to cuss some of them out because they are getting me like crazy. Apparently I'm a tasty snack to a mosquito. It's, pardon me. All right. So a couple attempts to shoot this video out here in this lovely scenery. Mosquitoes are attacking me. I've got to get indoors and away from water. So I'll pick this up in a moment. Okay everyone, thanks for bearing with me. That was yesterday. That attempt at shooting the video just didn't work out. So I'm back today to finish up the video, which is on the question I have received from so many people I've worked with, and that is, how do I change? I've heard this from many people who say, I know this about myself, but how do I change it? I know I have the tendency to, maybe it's sabotage yourself, or maybe it's letting your past trauma control your present. Maybe it's overeating and not taking care of your body, or maybe it's some other addictive behavior that you're well aware of and you know it's not serving you, you know it's not good for you, but you just can't seem to stop, especially in those moments when all the bases are loaded and you feel like you need some kind of release for your feelings and for your perhaps your anxiety. How do you change? I'm sure you can look back at a time in your life when there was something you identified about yourself and you decided you were going to stop doing that behavior and take another course of action. So why are these things any different? You've changed lots of things about yourself. Think about it. But for some reason, we have a few things maybe in our experience and in our mind that just doesn't feel like they are accessible to change. Like we're stuck that way. Like we're always going to be dealing with our food issues, or we're always going to be dealing with a certain attitude or belief system that we've had and can never overcome it. What makes those different? Well, I think we all have those areas where we have identified with that struggle. We have identified as, I am someone who has never had good physical health, or I am someone who has always had trouble in relationships, or I am someone who has always had difficulty with addictions, or whatever it is for you. And that kind of becomes the theme in your life. Now, other things you feel you could change, and you have, but these other things that we have such a strong attachment to, I think, and such an identity built around it that we're not really sure who we would be without that, even though we would like to be. So we need to kind of tip the scales and make our desire greater than our need to maintain that identity. It's almost like you have to get so pissed off and so fed up and be so ready to let it go and to take on something else. Now, what that can feel like when you start to jump into that and go down that new road, it can feel so uncomfortable. I know for myself, big things that I've had to overcome and let go of, I freaked out at first. I was seeing a healer at a particular time, and I remember going to her and saying, what's going on? I can't handle this. Is this okay? Is this normal? I don't know. This is totally new for me. And it was, but it ultimately led to my healing, starting to not repeat the same things I'd always done. And then I was in totally new territory. It felt weird at the time, but that's because it's something new. And in order for us to heal, we have to experience the opposite of what caused that pain in the first place. And in the process of healing, we're going to go through some new feelings and new experiences that are going to be foreign. We're not used to it. We are used to the old way. We're used to the dysfunction. We're used to the self-sabotage. We're used to the failure. We're used to the disappointment. And we're used to that old, worn out tape, whether it's our thoughts, actions, or a combination of both. So going down that new path is going to feel weird for a little while, and the more you do it, the more that will become your new normal. That will become your new, like, that's more healthier for you and that's better for you than the old way. So there's going to be this like change in the balance. In all of this, self-awareness is key. So kind of going back to the example earlier, if you are engaging in this behavior and you're like, I know I'm doing this, I know it's not good for me, and you just want to say, fuck it, I'm doing it anyway, screw it, I've had a horrible day. We all have those days where sometimes we're just not strong enough to outsmart or outwit those feelings that we're having at the moment. So give yourself that permission for you to not be perfect and totally on it and strong all the time. You'll get it sometimes and sometimes you won't, but with practice and effort, again, you'll tip the scales and you'll be able to move more towards that new behavior that you want to replace the old behavior with. Meditation can help, of course. The other thing that can help is tapping. Tapping is also known as EFT or emotional freedom technique. If you watched my Falling at the Climbing Gym video, I kind of did a very brief, humorous tapping example in that video. I haven't done any videos on tapping just yet, but tapping can be wonderfully helpful to help you bring up the old behavior and replace it with a new behavior. It really makes you call on your own bullshit. And it's something that I do for myself every single day. Every morning I do just a little bit of tapping. So that can really, really help you acknowledge the old mindset and replace it with a new one. So more to come on tapping in the future. So lastly, I just want to close with giving you encouragement that you can change a behavior that you've been wanting to change. No matter how long you've been doing it, you are not stuck, and that behavior does not have to dictate your life anymore. It can help to look at it by thinking that that change and that shift in behavior isn't as far out of reach as you may think. It doesn't mean it's going to be years and years of hard work and going through the ups and downs. Give yourself the permission to work through this process without putting pressure on yourself of having a deadline. So the more open we are, the more easily that change can come through us and we can start healing and shifting towards what we do want. Remember, you already have those answers within you. You just have to decide you are ready. It's time to let go of that old stuff and replace it with something better for you. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope that helps you. And if you would like to support my channel, I will be so appreciative. You can either purchase through the Amazon links below this video, that would be great, or you can go to my website, go to the homepage, and at the very bottom there's a PayPal donate button. Even as little as $1 would be awesome and would mean so much to me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you will like, share, and subscribe, share it on your social media and all that good stuff. Thanks so much, everyone, and I'll see you next time.